Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharon Banyasharala of the Lions Den Camp, here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm in the car, Harab Banyasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. Not today. I'll be coming out with a lesson, and it was a article that the brother Kanak of this camp, the bishop rather of this camp, the Lions Den Camp, he put in a group chat about Putin's being pushed to his red lines, and how Putin is forewarning and letting it be known that further provocation will result in we'll say an unsatisfactory result for Babylon America. But nonetheless, you know, he put it in the chat. I don't have that exact news app that he has, but I do have a news app, so I was able to still find the story. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Then afterwards, I'll get a few scriptures. It says, Putin says West has pushed him to his red lines. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday accused the West of pushing Russia to its red lines. It's more like Babylon America is crossing or pushing close to Russia's red lines, rather than pushing Russia to its red lines. But let's continue. It says, again, Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday accused the West of pushing Russia to its red lines and made chilling threats to lift restrictions on Russian missile deployment. It's not really a threat. It's really more like a warning, because a warning and a threat are two different things. They can be similar, but they different. Continuing. See? This is how you, real quick. See, it says the tyrant president told, now this is Esau using, real quick. This is what this devil does right here. It's what I'm looking for. It's a lot of things. Continuing, real quick. This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 19. It says, "Thou givest thy mouth to evil, thy tongue frameth deceit." So this devil giveth his mouth to evil, and his tongue frameth deceit, which is lies. You know, he loves those words that destroy your character. This is Psalms 51. Verse 4, it says, "Thou lovest all devouring words, O deceitful tongue." So this devil likes devouring words, and calling him a tyrant is a devouring word. The tyrant, that's character assassination. You know, that's what this devil does. But without further ado, let's continue. It says, the tyrant president told a meeting of defense. This is like it told a meeting of defense officials that Moscow was watching the U.S. development and potential deployment of short and medium range missiles with concern. More like he waiting for that one moment, and then it's like, gotcha. Well, let's continue. It says, he said Russia would lift all of its own voluntary restrictions on the deployment of its own missiles if the U.S. went ahead and deployed such missiles. So it's being said. It says Putin, who said Russian forces in Ukraine has taken control of 189 settlements so far this year, said Russia's nuclear weapons were there for deterrence. And of course, that's what nuclear weapons are for. They're deterrence, just to stop people or other nations from trying other nations. But let's continue. But the Lord is taking all that off the board. It's going to be a whole war out there. It's going to be nuclear devastation. Let's continue. It said last month, Putin decided to hit war-torn Ukraine with a never-before-seen hypersonic nuclear-capable missile called Orsnik. The Russian intercontinental ballistic missile triggered a series of explosions in the city of Dnipro, with the attack coming less than 24 hours after Ukraine reportedly struck targets in Russia's Kursk region with British-supplied Storm shadow missiles. So there you go. That shit show you that Russia is not playing. This is not a game of bluff. This is not poker like these devils think it is. But let's continue. It says pieces of the nuclear capable weapon were found scorched and shredded on the ground in a hangar at a facility which conducts weapons forensics in the Ukrainian city. Ukraine said the weapon reached a top speed of more than 8,000 miles per hour. Now, Mach 5 is hypersonic. That's like 7,000 some odd miles per hour. So this mug went faster than that. But it says, continue. It says, as it headed towards Dnipro on November 21st. You got some pictures there. It says this is the first time that such remnants of a missile have been discovered on the territory of Ukraine. An investigator said an investigator selected for the security service of Ukraine at the time. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky called the use of the weapon, which is capable of carrying multiple nuclear warheads, as a severe escalation and urged his allies to respond. The attack came after U.S. President Joe Biden, I like to say his name the other way, but Bo Biden, but let's continue, lifted a long-time ban on Ukraine's use of U.S. supplied long-range missiles, which means the war-torn country can now strike or could now strike deep into Russia, which they did, and Russia responded. It says in September, Putin revealed his red line for using nuclear weapons, which included Western leaders allowing Ukraine to use their missiles to target Russia. Nikolai Sokov, a former Soviet and Russian diplomat, said at the time the red line was intended as a very clear message. Don't make a mistake. All these kind of things may mean nuclear war. See, they trying to say may and talk around it. No, nuclear war is going to happen. Nuclear devastation is on the board now. Why? Because the Lord put it on the board. That's why. Continuing, this is, I'm really concerned about all the loose talk, he said, with actors in Ukraine dismissing the threats as a bluff. And that's what's really going on. They think it's a bluff, and it ain't no bluff. You don't play with people who could F you up for real. Like, you don't do that. You think ain't nothing finna happen. But let's continue. It says, we run head on into a situation which is completely unfamiliar to us. If you don't factor in the risks, you are likely to have a very unpleasant surprise. But Andreas, what that is, Omland, an analyst at the Swedish Institute of International Affairs, took a different view. Okay, so we got an Edomite, one of the other Edomites, downplaying, I'm pretty sure. Let's continue. It says, he said that the new red line was just a psychological operation, a psyop, basically, by the Kremlin without much substance. See, that's how Esau does. He tries to downplay. Well, let's continue. It says it is designed to scare leaders and voters of countries supporting Ukraine, and it's not. It's working. It's not a what they say, a bluff. It's an actual legitimate warning. Continuing, it says Ukraine dubbed the threat nuclear blackmail. Ukraine dubbed the threat nuclear blackmail, but assured that Putin would not risk alienating himself by using nukes on the West. Putin ain't finna alienate himself. BRICS is gone. The only one that's going to be alienated is Babylon America. Let's continue. It says, in my opinion, see this double. In my opinion, this is yet another bluff and demonstration of Putin's weakness. Anton Garachenko, a former advisor to Ukraine's internal affairs minister, said on X or Twitter. Says he will not dare to use nuclear weapons because that will make him a complete outcast. Of where? Putin's threat. Okay, yeah. The Lord gonna put it on this Edomite, this Russian Edomite, to use nuclear weapons. It's not a ploy. It's not posturing. It's not a bluff. This is a real life thing. This is not poker. It's not a game of poker. Let's continue. It says Putin's latest threats come as the Russian president said Monday his troops had the upper hand across the entire front line in Ukraine and were accelerating their advance. It says Russian troops are firmly holding the strategic initiative along the entire line of contact, Putin told his military generals in a televised meeting, and that don't seem like a lie. He said Russia's seizure of 189 Ukrainian settlements this year made 2024 a landmark year in the achievement of the goals of the special military operation using Moscow's official language for its campaign. Speaking after Putin at the same meeting, Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov said Russia's troops had seized almost 4,500 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory this year and were now gaining about 30 square kilometers a day. So it's going to get taken over. He said Ukraine controlled less than 1% of the eastern Lugansk region, Lugansk region, and about 25 to 30% of the Donetsk region, Kherson, and Zapor, Slovakia. Well, whatever that's eating. I ain't got time. Got to keep going. Regions. It says Russia claimed in 2022 to annex all four, despite not having full control of any of them. Its troops have been advancing across the Donetsk region throughout the year, claiming on Monday to have captured another small village there. And of course, that's the truth, because if it wasn't for Babylon America using Ukraine as a proxy, and it is what it is, it's the truth, it wouldn't be in this situation. But nonetheless, let's get some scriptures. Psalms chapter 9 verse 15. It says, the heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, and the net which they hid is their own foot taken. So these devils are sunk down in the pit. And the fact that they think they want a problem, are trying to cause a problem, it's going to go bad for them. But these heathen are sunk down in the trap. These devils in World War II, when they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, with the, if I'm not mistaken, an atom bomb. That wasn't a nuclear bomb, but it was the step into the nuclear age. But nonetheless, that same trap that these devils use, they are now sunk in that same net, and now their foot is taken, meaning these devils is going to go down by the exact same thing that they introduced into the earth. Let's continue. I'm going to jump down to verse 17. It says, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget Yahweh. So all the wicked going to be turned into hell. These devils are going to be turned into hell, i.e. destruction. They're going to be destroyed. And all the nations that forget the Heavenly Father. So all these other nations are going to get judged too. Let's continue. Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. So the ways of this devil are always grievous, always burdensome, always troublesome. But the judgments of the Lord are far above out of this devil's sight. This devil can't see that the Lord is finna bring judgment to him. These devils, I should say, with an S. And again, as it says, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And this is what this devil is doing, is puffing and trying to downplay the fact that Putin, the leader, the guard amongst them other nations, won't use nuclear weapons. He puffing at them, acting like he not gonna do nothing. That's not true. Warning always comes before destruction. The warning of getting effed up always comes before the actual getting effed up happens. It is what it is. Let's continue. Let's jump over. Psalms 11, verse 6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, and fire, and brimstone, and in horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. So the Lord is going to rain down judgment on these devils. Fire and brimstone, ICBMs, nuclear devastation. But also other things, pestilence, famines, and so much more. But nuclear devastation ultimately. Horrible tempests. This is the portion of their cup. This is the portion of a wicked man. Destruction and judgment. All hell breaking loose. Let's continue. Salaki for the this ain't really a planned lesson. I ain't got nothing wrote down, so I'm looking. So Salaki for the pause. Let's go on to let's Psalms 55, verse 20. It says, "He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant," and this devil has done that. This devil has put forth his hands against those that were at peace, that were not attacking or had no interest and or thought to do so. But this devil has come against those who have not come against him. Basically, the devil has broken his covenant, i.e., he doesn't keep his words. Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they are drawn swords. So this devil, his words are smoother than butter, but he comes talking a certain way. He comes trying to sound a certain way, but the truth of the matter is war is in his heart. And these devils over here in the West think that they want war. But when you look at we'll say the regular low level Edomites, the citizens here, they don't want it. But these ones that's running everything, they think that's what they want. Because these devils, what if war is in his heart? And it says his words are softer than oil. I mean, his words may not sound dangerous. They may not sound like they're going to be detrimental. But the truth of the matter is, they are drawn swords. His words are drawn swords. They will destroy you. That's what this devil is on. But let's continue. This is Psalm 73, verse 18. It says, "Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction." So the Lord has set this devil in a slippery place where he cannot get back and gain his footing, meaning he's going to go down. The Lord has cast him down into destruction, judgment. Last point. Hold up. Before my last point. Let me see. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 10. "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time things shall come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought." So it's going to come to pass. The Lord is going to put an evil thought. The Lord's going to put it in Putin's mind. It is what it is, to launch them nukes, and all these other nations that also have nuclear capabilities. The Lord's going to put it in their mind to push that button, to turn them keys, to enter into that 4-digit code for them launch coordinates and whatever else. The Lord's going to come. It's going to come to pass. It's going to put it in the Lord. The Lord's going to put it in this. In even though he Edomite too. The Lord gonna put that wicked thought, and this is the thought that is what it's gonna be. Verse 14. So like your verse 11. Thinking about something else right now. It says, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates." So this is that evil thought. That evil thought is the Lord's gonna put it in this other. He a devil too. It is what it is. Putin, he a devil. He a demon as well because they Edomite. He's going to put it in his mind to what? To come against this place. This is the place, the land of what? Unwalled villages, unprotected, unguarded. The Lord says he's gonna allow this devil to come up in because the people here, they're at rest. So like it must be some interference somewhere. But nonetheless, people here are at rest here in Babylon, America, because it's really what Babylon, America is doing in the earth. With the tomfoolery, with all the thing about Israel and Syria and all that stuff. Who you think behind that? Esau is behind all that. But let's continue. But nonetheless, it's going to ultimately lead up to this place being destroyed. It is what it is. It's going to ultimately lead up to shots fired. But the Lord is going to put a wicked thought into this devil's mind, this Edomite's mind, to come against this place, the land of unwalled villages. These people here that are at rest, the Lord is going to allow this devil to come up against this place. People that's here that's thinking they're dwelling safely without without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So this place is unprotected, and the Lord is going to put it in these other nations' minds to come against this place, because there will be no defense, because the brigandine of this place has been stretched far, wide, and thin. No protection here at home. So yeah. So hopefully these devils keep on wolfing and growling and causing problems, so we can go on and get up out of here, because it's been time for this place to go. And with that, shalom.